Thanks everyone for coming out. Stoked to be here with all of you.
So it's great to be in London.
Welcome to TSAI Conf.
We're the Mastra founders. I'm Sam.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Abhi.
To start us off, we're going to rewind a little bit back to where we left off, which was last TSAI Conf. That was April 9th. It was in San Francisco. And since then, Mastra has doubled our weekly downloads. We were at 600,000 then. We're at 1.2 million weekly downloads today. Last conference, we launched the Mastra platform, which is Mastra Studio and Mastra Server. Mastra as a framework gives developers primitives to build agents. And Mastra as a platform gives teams a place to deploy them and observe them.
And since we launched the platform, thousands of people have deployed and observed their agents. In 3 months, we've had over 71,000 CPU hours and over 30,000 deploys. But we've also hardened the platform with automatic deployments, managed databases, sandboxes, file systems, environments, and multiple deployment regions.
Today, Mastra is running in production across the Fortune 500, scaled startups, as well as AI-native companies.
Agents browse the web, they edit code, they operate inside sandboxes, they even talk to you in Slack. But these agents might run for an hour, or maybe even come back and talk to them again tomorrow. So it's not chat completion anymore. It's a different runtime. And so the question for us became, what primitives does an agent need in that environment when it's not just a request response cycle?
These questions kicked off a deep exploration in the last 3 months. And we've kind of figured this thing out as, we call it LRA, long-running agents. If you follow us on socials, you know that we make moves, and we've been doing a feature release pretty much every day, and all of those are part of this LRA initiative. Long-running agents have changed the game for Mastra. It really has brought a new agentic primitive to the framework. And the biggest thing about long-running agents is they're addressable, durable, operable, and capable.
Let's start with addressable. In June, we shipped agent signals. With agent signals, you can steer long-running agents. You can wake sleeping agents. You can connect multiple clients to one stream. You can also update state without invalidating the prompt cache. On top of that, we added webhook providers. That means GitHub, Slack, Stripe, or your own system can route a message or an event to the right thread. We also added schedules for recurring work. What this all means when you put it together is that addressable agents aren't just waiting behind a chat box. They're stateful participants in an event-driven system.
Now, durable. So first, we ship background tasks. So your agents can respond before, during, or after long-running tool calls without blocking the agent loop. And then we shipped agent goals. After agent goals, we also shipped durable agents, which can survive client disconnects, browser refreshes, network blips. You can run multiple requests in parallel, watch them, or leave them in flight and then come back later.
Let's talk operable. In January, we released Mastra Code, which is our version of our coding agent that we run locally over Codex or Claude Code. Remember from last time, friends don't let friends run compaction. In June, we pulled out the pieces of Mastra Code into a class called the Agent Controller. If you want to manage thread lifecycles, the Agent Controller can do all of that. Want to spawn sub-agents? Well, you can even fork a sub-agent so you don't have to bust your prompt cache. Want to do multi-turns? Duh. We all do. And do you want to have human in the loop? The Agent Controller can ask you questions, submit plans, make tasks. The thing I love about this primitive is it's so easy to compose it to build your own coding companion.
Last thing, capable. Long-running agents are capable. They act, right? In May, we added a bunch of stuff. We added browser support. We added channels for Slack, Discord, and Telegram. We added remote file systems. We added task lists. We added first-class skills, and we added support for Claude Code, Codex, and Cursor sub-agents. When you kind of put them all together, we call this family of capabilities the claw primitives, because what they do is they let an agent sort of reach into the world. Addressable, durable, operable, capable. When you put these all together, you get our definition of a long-running agent. It means that people and systems can be in one sort of shared loop. It means that a job can survive disconnects and restarts. It means you can watch, you can steer, you can approve, you can recover. It means you have the environment and you have the integrations that you need to get the job done.
Long runs generate more traces though. And I don't know if you're like me, I don't want to read 100 traces, let alone thousands. Because as a human, it's just hard to parse that much data. And so that's why today, we're very excited to announce Trace Intelligence in beta. Woo. Yeah. We're waiting for that. Thank you. Teams will spend weeks or months reviewing traces, and then you turn those traces into agent fixes, right? Prompt improvements, context improvements, tool description improvements. But Trace Intelligence will group traces into clusters, so you can identify common goals, behaviors, sentiments, and outcomes across mini runs. So you're analyzing clusters, not individual traces. It's built into observability on the Mastra platform.
Trace Intelligence is our second step towards this concept of agent learning. The full agent accuracy loop looks kind of like this. You collect traces, you review them, you create data sets, you create experiments to propose fixes to your agent, and then you ship those fixes to prod. Well, back in March, we shipped data sets and experiments, and now we have Trace Intelligence, which allow you to review your trace selection and start the next phase of the process.
As you might suspect, after this, we're working on automating the whole experiment flow by generating proposed fixes. When you automate the entire agent learning loop within Mastra, it will cut down weeks of work to days. So we've talked about this kind of learning loop. We've talked about long-running agents. The next problem that we're going to talk about is organizational. Every team has automation ideas, but engineering cannot become the bottleneck for a company to AIify itself, especially not in sort of most of organizations. The question that a lot of people are asking is, how do you let everybody build while the developers keep control of the primitives? That's why in May we launched Agent Builder. Agent Builder is a composable agent studio. It means that developers can register the tools, the workflows, the models, the memory that other people in the organization are allowed to use.
And then product, operations, and other teammates can assemble those primitives into agents and share them across the team. The result is still code in stored Mastra configuration. So now you take long-running agents, the claw primitives, the governance, the shared UI, and then you can point the whole thing at one of the most exciting problems for agents, software development.
Today, we are announcing Mastra Factory in alpha. It's a launchable Mastra project that gives you a system of agents that can take an issue all the way into production. It has specialized agents for triaging, for writing code, validating it, releasing changes, updating docs, and monitoring prod. So AKA that SDLC that we're all talking about. Mastra Factory connects to GitHub, Linear, and we'll have more integrations coming soon. As an issue comes in, you can start the factory and watch the agent work. There are multiple approaches to software factories, and you'll probably see a bunch on X and probably from a lot of authors coming soon. The way we kind of approached it is staged automation, where work flows from one stage and has life cycles. But we also want to support fully goal-driven development, so that will also be like an autonomous feature as well.
The teams that win don't just have one genius idea. The teams that win ship day in and day out. They build systems that let them do that. And today, you can build that system on Mastra. You can install Mastra Factory, connect the tools your team already uses, and make it your own.
It's a lot of launches, which it's us. You might expect that. But I want to sort of pull back from the launches, and I want to bring this back to our journey. Mastra launched in October of 2024, and so much has changed since then. We built Mastra for the builders. We built it TypeScript first, but not just for one platform or one model provider. We built it for every model and every platform. We built Mastra fully open, now, always, and forever.
Mastra has the whole agent lifecycle. You can build your agent, you can observe it, and now you can improve it.
And Mastra started as an agent framework, and we shipped long-running agents. We became a harness framework. Now Mastra is a factory framework. And we started targeted towards developers. But today, Mastra is also for agents. It's for your teammates. Mastra's for everyone.
When you put it all together, Mastra is the most capable agentic architecture today. If you're here building in TypeScript, we hope that it is, or it will be, part of your journey. Whether you're building agents, harnesses, or factories, you can get started with npm create Mastra.
The talks you'll hear today are from builders all over the stack, and we're so happy for them to be here to share their knowledge with all of you. Today is about giving you tools, giving you guidance, and I guess a lot of interruptions talking to each other. So please enjoy the conference. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.